Hi, thanks for joining me. 3-card tarot in this video for the signs of water, the water signs. 3 of those, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Going to do a 3-card spread for all of you. And I'm using the Starman Tarot, which I've been using not for very long actually, but it's an amazing deck. Really in tune with the old traditional tarot meanings and really something very new as well. So here we go, let's have a shuffle and say for Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, the 3 water signs. What is the first card we've got? Here we are. And it's the Wheel of Fortune. Right. Now then, this is a really manic card, isn't it, looking at it? And I guess you're having a really manic time at the moment, water signs. I wouldn't be surprised, actually. Lots of us are, because on the one hand, everyone's kind of trying not to do too much. And on the other hand, there's a lot to do. But this is personal. This is just for the water signs, really. And for you, whoever you are, if you're drawn to it, by the way, there are hundreds of readings on my channel, and the time to watch it is now, even if that's in the future. But this is April 2020, and it's looking very, very busy indeed. The Wheel of Fortune. Well, that suggests that there's a lot more to come. It suggests that things are moving quite quickly as well. Despite everything that's going on in the world at the moment to slow us down, things are moving on quickly. Maybe that's at a mental level, maybe that's at a psychological level, maybe it's in the real world. Really depends who you are and where you are, water signs. But here we've got, at the middle of it, David Bowie's face, because this deck is based on artwork that David De Angelis did for David Bowie. Hence the name, the Starman Tarot. Okay, looks like he's just about fit to blow our minds there. And that's the way it often is with the Wheel of Fortune. You know, you get so much going on and you don't know when it's going to stop spinning. You don't know when you're going to come off it. But the unknown is a kind of a discipline in itself, you know. It gets you, so you've got to be ready for anything. And I don't suppose too many of us feel like that at the moment. Especially with the water signs, you know, the suit, the tarot suit that goes with this is the Cups. It's all about longings, it's all about desires, and so much with the water signs, it's got so much to do with what hasn't happened yet, and the unknown as well. Fear of the unknown is often a response that people have, but what we've got to do is go forward in faith, because this is, let me see, it's number 10 in this deck, so it looks like we've kind of completed one part of the cycle and we've got to go on to the next part of the cycle. Well, that's life. Life is change, things never stop changing, and that is where the Wheel of Fortune is at in this spread. Okay. Let's see where we're going with this, though. Let's go forward a bit. So many colours in this deck. Actually, it's fascinating to look at. Let's just look back at the wheel again, actually, because there is a lot of purple in the sky there. I meant to mention that. Loads of pink, loads of action, loads happening, and actually we are having what we call the pink moon in April, and it's called that. The full moon in April is called the pink moon because it's when we start seeing blossom on the trees. It's when the skies start parting in the evenings. The clouds start parting, I should say. It looks as if the whole sky is parting, but we get those beautiful brightly coloured pinky skies and amazing things to look at up in the heavens. So there's loads of pink there, but there is purple there as well. There is a definite sense of healing, and right at the top of the card here there's a lot of low-hanging fruit around the goddess image there as well. So everything is still full, everything is good, everything is happening, because of course in the April moon we are coming into the beginning of the summer. We are coming into Mother Nature and the goddess energy all coming to life. So let that be a real thing in your heart and in your mind, because that way it's going to actually play into your actions, and you'll take that positivity forward. Okay, anything to do with manifestation, which we're all doing every day, whether we know it or not. Anything to do with manifestation is about kind of believing, okay, and to be really sure that you step off the Wheel of Fortune at just the right time for you. Visualize it that way and believe it can happen, because it can happen, friends. It really can. Okay, so I was about to move on to the second card. Let's do that now. What's the second card in this reading for the water signs? Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces in this April 2020 reading. Let's have a look. Okay, and it's the 3 of Pentacles. Right, So there you go. Even though the Wheel of Fortune is spinning, and even though things have been pretty crazy, and even though actually the character in this image is sort of doing quite a balancing act there is steady progress. There is something very, very steady about the Three of Pentacles. It says that whatever you're doing in the real world, whatever you're doing in the physical, is actually the way it should be, is actually lining up with your life purpose, your life plan. We all come to this life with a purpose, with a reason for being here. We sign up to it all before we come here, and we never quite get to know what it's all about until it actually unfolds, until it actually happens. So have faith, guys, that whatever you're plugging away at, whatever you're plodding on with getting done, is actually what you should be doing, and is actually taking you in the right direction. There is no doubt about that. It does look like quite a difficult balancing act, though. This character is balancing on one hand on the top pentacle, which is the biggest one. The whole thing looks really unstable, but that's just the way it looks, you know. The reality of this situation is it's actually very solid. It is actually very stable, and it only looks kind of difficult because that is the way it always is when we're doing what we are really divinely orientated towards and what we are really divinely intended to be doing. See all the sacred geometry in the top of the card there if I bring it up closer. Lots of wheels, almost wheels of fortune spinning, harking back to the last card there, but loads and loads going on up in the heavens there, and those are magical patterns. That is sacred geometry, and that is what is up there and around us all the time. No matter what we think we're doing, no matter where we think we're going, there is always that grand plan, and it is very carefully mapped out. So I'm going to say go with the flow on this one. Okay, it's being a Pentacles card, it's Earth sign energy, so it's really a very grounded kind of a card, this. And the number 3, something magical about that. You're well and truly actually into your journey in so many ways. With the last one, with the Wheel of Fortune, that was number 10. It says that you've kind of completed one part of your journey and moved on to the next part. Well, as you come off the Wheel of Fortune, this is where it's going next, water signs. It really is. Okay, so look at the gold in this card as well. It's as if this character has built up quite a bit of gold through steady hard work, and there's a labyrinth here as well, and it's down on the ground, it's out of the way, so this character has walked the labyrinth, and wherever you've been taken, wherever you've been drawn to, and whatever you've actually been doing in recent times, you've overcome that labyrinth somehow, water signs, and you are going forward, and it is positive, and it is looking very, very good. Tiny bit of lilac amethyst light here, showing that if you're going to need some healing along the way, it's going to come in a gentle way. It's going to come in a way that makes sense. It's just basically not going to be too difficult. But it might be rather difficult to work out what's going on. If we just look at this symbol here, I bring that up a bit closer there. It puts me in mind of a salt lamp and its kind of sacred mysteries as well as the sacred geometry, because mystical things are always a mystery. That is the bottom line. That's why people are called mystics. And we are all mystics. I do it all the time. But if you're watching this, if you're just into the tarot or anything spiritual at all, then you've got that mystic sense about you. And that is going to bring you in touch with things which are going to be mysteries until you get stuck in, until you get down in deep and closer to the truth. But you're always getting closer to the truth. That's a fact of life. That's how it works. Okay. Now then, do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There are always more tarot videos coming out all the time. There's a fair bit of astrology on there as well. But there are over 600 readings on my channel now for you to go and look at. And any of those readings is for you, most definitely, if you're drawn to it. Okay, so water signs, we have had the Wheel of Fortune, we have had the Three of Cups. What is going to be the third card in this spread for the water signs, which I'm doing in April 2020. Oh, dropped it. Bring it up again. And here we go. It is number 14. So it's even further along the journey. And in this deck, that means it's the Temperance card. Now, this ought to be something really good for the water signs. It really should. You just never know that, do you? It's Sagittarian energy, basically. So it is actually more to do with fire energy than anything else. But Temperance is something that's really good, I think, for the water signs. Because we've actually got the sense of a cup here. This character is standing in a cup and has actually outgrown the cup in such a big way. But if you think of the traditional Rider-Waite kind of tarot image for the Temperance card. There's a character pouring water and it's going diagonally between two cups, which is a miracle because water can only kind of flow straight down. It never goes down at an angle like that. It goes under its own weight and it finds the path of least resistance. But water signs, this card says that it's not so much about finding the path of least resistance, it's about alchemically and spiritually finding the path which is right. Now this is the outcome card, so this is what you're being led towards. And this is why it's so important, water signs, to stay on your path and to stay as positive as you can. Because really, if you feel a bit kind of out in the cold, out in the open, a bit exposed, a bit kind of, really, should we say awkward, I suppose, is a good way of expressing it. If you're feeling awkward, it's really because you've outgrown this. It's not because you can't handle what's going on in your cup. It's because you've outgrown it. So your longings, your desires, whatever your heart is aiming for, may have changed, may have come up a notch, and you might as well aim for the best, isn't it? I really think that's quite important because why would you really want to aim for anything else? Well, people often do. People often make that mistake because they think, well, it's going to be an awful lot of work to try and achieve what I want to achieve. I'll never do it. And that is such a mistake. I mean, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a pilot. I'm now pretty much kind of too old to do anything like that. I've never earned the kind of money that will get me flying lessons. But if only I hadn't given up on that when I was a kid. I was in the Air Force. I could have worked my way up to it. But I just didn't bother, you know. I could have been reaching for the stars. I should have been reaching for the stars, but I didn't do it, you know. Well, this character is reaching up and the sky is absolutely the limit with this card, okay? And it is number 14. It's showing a further work, further along the route of life. And so set those expectations really high, okay? You maybe won't absolutely get 100% of the goal you're after, but you'll get a lot further towards it if you don't give up, if you keep on looking up, if you keep looking for the best. So let us do a quick recap, okay? We started off with the Wheel of Fortune. Excuse me, we started off with the Wheel of Fortune. So much going on in this card. Very much to play for, and with the Wheel of Fortune you're still playing for it, you're still going for it, and that's really, really good because you've got to keep moving just to stand still when you're on the Wheel of Fortune. That's the fact because it's always spinning. So, you know, well done, whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been working at. And then we had Three of Pentacles, which is another reason for saying well done, because, you know, you've completed the labyrinth and you've completed a fair bit of good hard work has gone in. Steady progress is what this card is all about. So you've been making progress, you've been doing well, even though you're having to kind of do the dance of life on the Wheel of Fortune there. So quite impressive. I'm impressed, water signs, I really am. And then to end the spread, the outcome card here, number 14, Temperance, outgrowing things, but doing it in an alchemical way, doing it in a positive way, and always stay focused on what is the real purpose. It's good to go with the flow, and that really is what this character is either doing or needs to do. Depends, different strokes for different folks. So many people watch these readings, who can really say? But this character is in a powerful position, okay? Feels a bit out in the open, feels a bit kind of difficult and awkward about things, but you've done the Wheel of Fortune, you've done, oh, I can't control these cards, you've done the Wheel of Fortune, you have done the hard work, okay, so you've got every right to be standing tall and proud because you actually have put in everything you need to put in to be standing up and looking out of your cup, looking at the bigger picture, and be prepared to reach higher than you've ever tried to reach before, water signs, okay? So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Tap the bell so you don't miss anything. Over 600 readings on the channel there for you if you're drawn to them. And if you're drawn to one, it doesn't matter if it's for your star sign or not. Lots of them are for individual star signs. I'm just kind of doing them earth signs, fire signs, water signs, and the other one, I can't remember, air signs as well. That's it. At the moment, just because I want to kind of get them done, because I want to get stuck into April and really get things moving. And that's the whole kind of point of this reading, guys. Get stuck in, get things moving. Keep it as real as you can, but remember, what is real isn't always what looks as if it's real. It's never boring, it's never dull. Going with the flow doesn't make you a sheep, it just gets you to where you need to be, because that is where the flow is always headed. Okay, so thanks again for watching. Leave me a comment, we'll share the journey. Share me around social media if you will. Help me get the word out, it all helps. And I'll see you again very soon. Water signs, peace.